Peace and joy, guys. Welcome back to another video, Drumheller Farms. And hey, I'm finally making the video that a ton of you guys have asked for. You might remember I posted a video that said non-selective grazing nightmare, my biggest mistake yet. And it showed a section of the field that was just pugged and overgrazed to beat the banjo. Well, I'm currently standing in that paddock, okay? Actually, let me step over this line here. Now I'm standing in that paddock. And this is what we're looking at, the regrowth. You know, we're 16, 17, 18 inches of grass. The worst spot is just not quite fully grown back yet. You can see that right there. So this is where the worst pugging was. It's the lowest spot. So you can see there's some big pug marks that, you know, heck, some of them are 4 or 5 inches deep, but it's starting to recover. All right. And I didn't do anything with it. I had people suggest, hey, maybe try putting some you know, seed on there, try doing this. Normally I think what I would have done is spread some seed and maybe threw some hay over this area, but I didn't want to do anything because I just wanted to see what would happen. A little bit of weeds have grown back. I can see there's a little bit of ragweed that has grown back in this place, but for the most part this paddock is going to be grazable for me, I think. I'm going to keep on continuing grazing this field. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give them a large area so that they don't just graze this right down to anything. And what my hopes are, it's dry right now. We haven't had rain, any substantial rain in a few weeks, and it's been really, really hot. Temperatures have now started to come down a little bit. It's supposed to be really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to give them about 2 paddocks here, right up next to that a little pond right there. When I fence that pond out, I'm just going to give them this whole paddock. The grass has not grown back quite as nice here, guys, and the reason why was, and I started to explain it in my last video, and I just realized that that video was about something completely different, so I didn't want to get into it, but I started to become very greedy in my non-selective graze. You know, about 45 days ago when we were here last time. Actually, I tried to calculate it. We were back here about 46, 47 days ago. And you can see where I started to do that. Even this field where I'm standing right now, there's some really nice grass. You can see, you know, we're 30 inches tall. All right. But the recovery here is not as great as what it was the last field. And obviously the rest of this field, what I found out was I was pushing my cattle really, really hard through here. And actually, I think I even discussed it in this video where I really pugged this up. I'd realized that my cattle were starting to become out of condition a little bit. I was tightening them a little too hard and I was becoming greedy, and it was affecting the condition of my cattle. The good thing is I noticed it. It took me probably about 3 or 4 days. Well, I take that back. I did it for about 10 to 12 days, and it took me you know, about 8 or 9 days into that before I realized what I was doing, and that took me a couple days to correct it. So there was about 2 weeks, half of that field and most of this field, that I just became a little too greedy, made them take a little too much. And now that has affected me on my second rotation right here, where I've had to give them a little bit larger paddocks because there's less forage out here for them. So you can see where our old paddock was on first rotation. That's how much I gave them. And now I've given them about 1.5 to 1 3/4 the size of first rotation. And so It's not horrible. You can see this is some beautiful stuff, but I did just push them a little too hard, and it did affect the cattle conditioning, and now I'm paying for it on our second rotation, because where here I'm only running at, you know, 20, 22, 23 inches of grass. Over in the other field I was looking at, you know, 36 plus of beautiful grass. And my paddock sizes did increase a little bit because I want to leave a little bit more behind, simply because there's not as many grazing days ahead of us. So I'm leaving maybe a couple more inches just to stockpile a little bit more. But you know, I've had to accommodate for being a little too greedy on that first rotation. The animals are looking good. We just ran the whole herd across the road, which is way up there. They're almost in the farthest back from our corral system as we can get, but we ran them across the road. Allison and I sorted out 6 finished cattle that we're going to take in tomorrow morning. I think I'm going to incorporate this video into that, take you guys along. And so they just came back here probably about an hour ago, and I let them go ahead and clean up the rest of this for like the last hour and a half there. But a lot of you guys have asked what happened to that spot. You've wanted to see the results of that. Well, this is it. And I'm happy to show you my mistake. And I think if I sectioned them out of here for a few more days or a few more weeks, we would get some good regrowth. But because it's dry, my thought is I'm going to let them graze in here on a bigger area, and maybe they'll knock down some of these areas where it's pugged up and flatten this out a little bit. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. But they're going to have about twice the amount of room this rotation in here is what they did last rotation. I think that's going to be just fine. All right, guys, I'm going to get them moved over here. They're going to be in this paddock tomorrow, so they're not going to go to work on that for another day. But I already got my halfway fence set up, so I'm going to go ahead and throw them in this section. They'll be in here for 12 hours. I'll come back out here tomorrow morning and move them again. There's some of these cattle that we're taking in. Got 6 of them here. They're going to enjoy some nice grass. It's what they requested for their last meal. These are some good finished steers right here. These guys are between 24 and 30 months old here. This Murray right here, he's a dandy. Nice brisket, good fat around his tail. He's a nice finished steer. Man, I gotta move lambs. I gotta do chickens, I gotta do turkeys. Should have started moving cattle or working cattle a lot sooner today, that's all I can tell you. Guys, take a look at how nice and clean these birds are. They're just all nice and white. You know, that means you got them on good clean pasture. You're keeping them moving like they should be. I just fed them, so they're hammering their food, but this should be their last week right here. And again, the reason why they're so clean is because they're on beautiful pasture and they're being moved frequently. Here's what 24 hours looks like. The amount of manure. You can see it down here. I wouldn't want to walk around in my own poop. Why make the animals do it? You know, some people say, ah, they're just chickens. Well, that's the problem right there. That mindset is why our food system is so messed up. Yes, they are just chickens, but that doesn't mean that you don't take and do your best that you can to raise a good nutrient dense product for your customers, and also raise the animal humanely. Do a good job on behalf of the animal, and do a good job on behalf of your property, the land that God has entrusted you to take care of. You know what else is interesting about out here? It doesn't stink. Chickens don't stink, so you know you're moving them enough. New lamb paddock here. They're ready. Don't take it right down to the ground with these guys. They do a good job of grazing this off. Come on, lambs. Kata, 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 kata. Come on. How you doing, buddy? Huh? This one always comes up to me. How you doing? Huh? How you doing? Oh, they always hop into that paddock. That's funny. Morning, guys. It's the next day. It's 44 degrees out this morning. What a beautiful morning it is. A lot of cattle are laying down, which is a good sight. They're kind of just chewing their cud, relaxing. I like to get them up, and I like to give them about 5 minutes. You can see some of them are already starting to stand up here as they see me walking up, because they know what's going to happen. But I like to get them up. That way they go ahead and poop and pee on this older paddock instead of doing it in the new paddock. Which, you know, when you first hear that, you think that sounds a little silly until you really start thinking about it. You know, if we got 100 cattle in here and they all walk over to that fresh paddock and start pooping and peeing, well, there's one right there. You can hear them hitting the ground. Well, just think about it. You know, that's 100 patties, all on that fresh paddock. That's not good for it. Let them get over there and start eating on that before they go and mess it all up. So they get up, they give themselves a stretch, and that's when they start popping patties on the ground. Now I just take these materials for this halfway fence and I just throw them right over on the other side of the fence here. I hang this right here because tonight when I set up the next paddock, I'll need this to run the halfway fence. All right, guys, well, Gotta go load these cattle up. Hopefully that goes smooth. I'm going solo. Allison's going into work. I just packed some meat orders for her to take in. So I got the truck and the trailer backed right up to the chute. I want to put 3 in the front and 3 in the back. So hopefully that all goes as planned, and won't have any problems loading these things up on my own. So let's go. All right, here at our cattle working facility, and like I said, I already got the trailer all backed up, ready to go. And whenever you're working cattle, it kind of makes sense to start from the end and work your way back. And that will kind of cover all your bases there. So this is our tub. We'll run the cattle in here. I'll open that door. Hopefully they'll kind of start to make their way down that alleyway already. And then I have one more door to slide open and closed. Like I said, I want to put 3 in the front and 3 in the back. Give me a pretty nice even load there. Hey, hey, hey. Come on. Come on. Hey. No. Come on. Hey. Come on. Hey, 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 hey. Go that way. Come on. Get with the rest of your guys. Come on. Come on. Get in. Turn around. Let's go. Let's go. No. No, 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 no. Come on. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Come on. Hang on. Get back. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on. Hey, 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 hey. Come on. Get up there, get up there, come on, get up there, get up, up. Go. Oh, great. Great. Hey. No, 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 get up there. Come on, get up there. All right, well, it's nice to have a good cattle working facility. I mean, had a little bit of issues, but all in all, a success. Loaded by myself. That's the way you like to do it right there. it was an investment for that cattle working facility. But let me just tell you something, when you're working cattle, it's very important that you work them safe, not only for yourself but for the cattle. And that's something that has continued to pay itself off over and over again. All right, guys, back at the farm. Didn't film going up to the processor simply because my phone was ringing. It's Monday, Labor Day weekend, you know, or I guess it's Tuesday because Monday was Labor Day weekend. You know, getting back in the swing of things of work, business, city business stuff happening, and I was on the phone when I was pulling in there. So I appreciate you guys watching the video. Hey, hope you enjoyed seeing what that paddock looked like. I might do a little follow-up here once I graze that off tomorrow and see how it looks. And I got a little bit of an idea what I might do with that. So I appreciate you guys watching. Hit that subscribe button, like the channel. It's gonna get the word out of what we're doing here. I appreciate it. God bless. All right, guys, I know the video has ended, but I'm popping back on because while I was at work today, I had an idea. And my idea is I'm gonna throw some seed down, which is a soil fixer. Has all kinds of stuff in it, turnips, rapeseed. It's got some sorghum, Sudan grass in it. You've probably, if you found along on the channel, it's what I've been using out there at the pigs and in some of their paddocks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw that in these areas that are not 100% recovered. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the cattle are going to come through here. They're going to stomp some of that seed down. They're going to take some of these high spots and they're going to kind of crumble those down low because it's pretty dry right now. And we're supposed to be getting some rain here in about 2 days. So hopefully that'll beat this down into the soil and it'll fix this area being so puggy. That's really more my concern at this point than even the fact that the grass is a little sparse in this one little area.